role like a correctional officer?
No, CO. Accountant. Accountant.
Oh, thank you. Want to sit with us?
Listen.
You get to learn about how it used to be. Is this, I can just write in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll give this to you. I'll put it where your thingy is. Let me know the picture from bottom.
You better get one around.
Write her age on here.
Well, we go when we're done.
No, here's a pencil, good pencil.
Okay. And I'll put it by your dresser.
No, I'm going to put it in my, as to where I put my picture. I don't want to put out some pictures, because I know somebody will come and grab it. Yeah.
Okay. So, you gotta remind me where you're born, Hazel. Born in Kyle.
Yeah.
In the year
9/27. Oh, 9/26/27.
26, 27.
Towards North Rock, towards the Babylon.
So did they have this school? They didn't have this school here when you went to school.
No.
So what did you do for like elementary school and high school and stuff like that?
All of that burned down in 19 and oh dear, I forgot what it was. 19 and 36.
36. Where was the old school at?
On the other side of this school.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, high school, Leave High School. And elementary. On the other side, towards the dam.
So when you went to classes, what were your classes like? Were there lots of students, or were they really strict, or did you learn like what we think of like math and science, or did they have different kinds of classes and stuff like that?
Probably they have all of that, but there's my mother and my father are well educated, so my mother is and teaches me at home. So she said I learned how to tell time when I was 4 years old.
Really?
And stuff. That she teaches me to read, and they both help me with my math. What I have to go through.
Drop that.
Oh.
So did you live with your mom and your dad most of your childhood, or most of your life? Or?
Yes, I did. And my father passed away in 1939, October.
1939. So you would have been 13 or so?
Yeah, probably. But before that is summertime. We usually go out in a potato field and sugar beet field. We try to learn us how to work. And in fall we usually go out to pick corn. In Nebraska they have really big cornfields. So whoever could, we do that. And we also, later in the years, when he passed away, we lived in Gordon, so we always get coal from freight trains.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is trouble. We put it in. No conveyors or nothing that time, so we had to put it in trucks that go get coal.
So you had brothers and sisters too?
Yeah, I have 4 brothers and I think 9 sisters. Altogether there was 13 of them. but some died when they were babies.
Oh, really?
And just only one brother has lived quite a while, up in his 40s or 50s.
And the rest passed before they got to that age?
Yeah, they were babies, most of them. And all my sisters lived, except two. They were about 5 and 3, that 1918 influenza took a lot of people.
It was a rough winter?
1918. Probably your parents will remember that flu.
Oh, okay.
1918. Everybody remembers that. 1918 influenza that killed a lot of people.
I had never heard of that before.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure your grandma and grandpa remembers that.
I'll ask them.
Yeah, they showed me a lot. Yeah. So that time there was a lot of people.
So then when your dad passed away, you lived kind of with your mom then?
Yeah.
And your siblings?
Yeah.
And did you go to, what did you do for like, was high school, did your mom teach you for high school as well, or did you go to like a bigger school or something like that for high school?
No, I went to school here in Carlton. We got away from here when I was 8th grade because the War Department came and condemned us, all the people that live close to the Badlands, towards this Richard Table and all that, and they use it for bombing range.
The government did?
Practice.
Okay, so the government came and told you just have to leave?
Yeah, my parents, everybody, the people. They condemned it.
Did they pay you for the land or anything?
Way later they did.
So where did you go?
Everybody has to move out, so wherever they can, that's where they go.
Wow.
A lot of people this way. Yeah.
Is that the road that says Bombing Range Road? Is that over there?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's, I only went as far as 8th grade, and I had to work for my living.
What was your first like job that you had?
The regular job I had was working in a potato cellar.
Potato cellar? What do you do in a potato cellar?
And grading potatoes.
Really?
Number 1 and the 2 and the dog.
Just separate them? Where
yeah.
was that at?
And it's got Scotch Bluff, Nebraska, and in Lyman, Colorado. Oh, Lyman, Nebraska.
And you were what? How old do you think you were?
I think I probably was about maybe 16 or 15. Yeah. That time there wasn't no child labor involved.
You could just work as much as you wanted.
Yeah.
Do you remember, how much did they pay you back then? Did they just pay by the day or the hour? Or?
By the hour.
Probably not as much as we make now.
That time it's, I think we were getting 65 cents an hour.
Oh man, that's hard to believe.
Yeah.
So if you work 10 hours, you'd make about $6.
Yeah. But that time, food and clothing and everything was cheaper. Nowadays, you would never. You probably will eat only once a day with that $6. Everything is really high nowadays.
So we were reading a book in our classes, Hazel, and it was talking about like the practice they used to have of moving Native Native American kids, like from this area, and kind of taking them away from their parents and moving them into like boarding schools where they cut their hair and they wouldn't let them speak your language and stuff like that?
Yeah, my father and mother were in it.
They were. Did they ever talk about it or anything?
Yeah, they told you.
What can you tell me about that? I've never heard a first-hand account of it.
Yeah, my mother said it's no matter, she said, how hard is you try your best to work in the kitchen or in the dining rooms or in the hallways and in the laundry. She said, still they get spanked for it and they get hollered at. And my father was in there too, so my father said they really abused him too. And he got sent off towards East School, boarding school.
On the East Coast?
Yeah, towards East, the state, that way. But he said, there's a dog there, he said, so when he has time, he said, he goes and takes a walk with that dog, and he said, he talks Indian to that dog, so he never forgets his language. He didn't want to forget his language. And he said, they give him bath with really hot water, so he said, his hair roots, he said, before even he got too old, he said, his hair was all white and he doesn't have that much hair on his head.
It was always shocked hearing like those stories how the kids would speak Dakota, they would get beaten or things like that.
My father and mother said that the time they came and got them, they said they came in a long time ago, big trucks. And they put them in there like animals.
By what authority did
the government.
Did they give a reason or did they just take them?
They take them.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it is.
So what were those, like Catholic schools that the government funded, or was that the church, or was that the government that was running the boarding school, or both maybe?
The government and the Catholic. And towards the east, my mother said they went to a shaman school too.
What was that? Shaman school?
Jews.
Oh, I
They're
see.
Jews.
I see.
Yeah. But she said over there, that they're Jews. She said they treat everybody like human. They were nice people. Well, they're Jews.
What else can I ask you?
He's not.
All right.
So your first job, you were in Nebraska as a potato grader. Can you just go through like, I don't know, kind of like, I know you lived a lot of places, right? You lived in California, you lived in Colorado. Can you kind of describe like the path you took and how you came to be back where you are now?
Yeah. I worked in my first good job was in Colorado, Denver. I was a manager at a laundry for 9 years. And then after that, I went to Boulder. And over there, I worked at a health food store.
My brother lived in Boulder. He loved it there.
Oh yeah, I
nice
do
place.
too, even though it's really expensive. But I really like it, the mountains when you come up. And in the evening you look towards the mountains. I still do. I still really like Boulder. And then after my job ended, then I went to California.
No. When you moved from like Denver to Boulder, and then when you moved from Boulder to California, did you just move because you just wanted to travel, or did you move because you wanted to meet people, or what made you choose California or Colorado for that matter?
When my job ended at Denver, my niece was living in what did they call it? South of Los Angeles. What's the name of that?
Like San Diego? What's south of LA? A city?
Yeah.
South of Los Angeles. San Diego's the only town I can think of south of Los Angeles. Bakersville. Is it a big city?
Small, kind of small.
Yeah.
It's connected to Long Beach and all that.
Okay, just one of the kind of part of the city just down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And over there is I work in my nephew is well educated. He's a professor. So I work for him in his office. I clean up every day for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got me he said if I was interested in making computers. So I said, I've done that in university before I went to California. And I said, I really got it. So I told him I was interested in it. I said, really interested in it. So
what year was this, do you think, when you were in California?
that was in 19...
Or how old were you?
I think I was 48 when I left Denver.
So that was probably in like 74 maybe?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, around that.
That must have been like the very beginning of like computers.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think we had a computer until probably 1985 or 86.
Yeah. They were just now making them yet over there in California. And then it came this way. I went for the training because I really got, I used to do that in Kimball, Nebraska, with the Mexican Navy. So I know how they do it and how they do it. But that time my eyes are all right. So I had good eyes, so I can solve everything. Nowadays my eyes isn't that good at all.
It always amazes me that you can quilt as perfectly as you can quilt, and yet you can't see very well. How do you do that? I don't...
I have to sit there with the light and do my best.
Did Kian ever show you that quilt that she made?
Yeah.
She must have learned a lot just watching you, because she'd never made one in her life, and the one she made is like amazing.
Yeah. Did she make another one?
No, just that pink one. It's probably about.
Yeah.
It's not huge, but it's pretty.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 feet by 4 feet. You want to answer?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Cool. One and stuff. One is still, I don't know if it's, I think it's
mine.
Oh, it's mine. No, whoever you call it.
Look. Yeah. Come here.
Go in there and talk.
It's fucking sucker.
Hey, do you like your cars? Did you play with your cars, Kevin? You don't talk, you just make noises. So how long did you work in California? And did you go from California back to South Dakota?
No.
Oh, okay, so you went from Colorado California back to Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, I went back to Boulder. I have a really good friend. I stayed at her place, and then she got me a job at the house food store. So then, I was putting in my peeled capsules in a bottle, and I use it as seal leather.
I didn't know they had health food stores back then.
Yeah, they do in Boulder. And the lady I worked for, her name was Hannah Kruger. So she lived east of Boulder, out in the country. But she was really nice. So she let me stay in her trailer house. She had a trailer. She had her house, and she had a really big like a motel. So in the summertime, the people I don't know what church is in. People always come over there and to attend convention. They use her hotel. And then from Boulder, I was there for about 6 years, and then I could, Social Security said that I'm supposed to retire that. So then I came back over here to college.
And you came directly to this place, or did you live in a different house? Or?
Yeah, a house out in the country.
Oh, you did?
Where I used wood stove and no electricity, and I had to use a pump.
Where was that? Around here?
Yeah, right down below St. Barnabas.
Oh, really?
My nephew's house.
What made you move away from there? You needed some electricity, probably?
No, my cousin, and a representative from Interior went to see me, and a lot of them went to see me, and they said, it gets really cold and bad over here, so they were trying their best to get me a house here. And then as a cousin of mine, their daughter moved out of this house. He was a director in Pine Ridge. Is that what do you call it? He works in energy. Robert. Robert's running there. Used to live there. So he cleaned his house up really good. He put some propane and he moved out, so I moved into here. And I've been here ever since that.
How long have you lived in this house then?
I lived in this house since 1978. I think.
I wonder what year all these houses were built. Maybe in the 50s or 60s?
Probably so. Yeah. I never asked Wilbur, he works there, but I never asked him when these houses were built.
We saw it looked like they built some newer ones over by, when you're coming out of Long Bleed, coming this way. It looks like up on the hill they built a few new houses. Kind of those one-story houses instead of two-story ones.
Yeah. They're trying to get more houses, but I don't know how it's going to be. Out in the country.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. start building them, and they're gonna start July something pretty soon, maybe this week or something. They're gonna start paving the road.
They need to. They're
Right.
still down here by the post office.
I know.
That pothole,
That's good. It's been there for a long
they
time.
fill it and then it gets ringed again. They fill it and it gets
That's because the road department supposed to put too big where the water goes through. But they didn't do it.
Gutters?
One,
okay.
the round one that the water goes through. So that's how it floods all the time through that.
Okay, now, in the school where I work, we have a lot of Native American kids. And for our class, we're kind of trying to develop ideas on the best way to teach kids. What's the best method to teach kids? So first, do you have like any advice for like kids and students on just general advice on how they should live their life or how they should participate in school or just like words of wisdom kind of thing? Any advice you would give like students?
Yeah, the time I was in Nebraska and working in a potato cellar, I had to walk 5 miles